Today's video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and right now you can get this sweet Scoop Soldier sticker when you order over at cardkingdom.com. Just mention in your order notes that you want a Scoop Soldier sticker when you go to checkout. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. So traditionally, through the history of Budget Magic, and the history of Magic in general, one of the best ways to be competitive in Standard on a budget has been mono red decks. The mana base is cheap, they're aggressive, they can kill people quickly, you can jank people out, but since Throne of Eldraine, mono red hasn't really been in a great place in Standard. It hasn't been that competitive at all. We have cat oven decks, we have the food mechanic, we had a lot of really powerful strategies, but thanks to Theros Beyond Death, it's time for Mono Red to make a comeback because of one card in specific. Anax Hardened in the Forge is almost by itself. Well, that's not quite true. With the help of Embercleave, is revitalizing the budget Mono Red archetype. So today, we're heading to Standard to play AnaxCleave Red. Basically, a red aggressive deck that can jank people out with one massive attacks from our red demigod. As you can see, 88 bucks in paper, 32 ticks on Magic Online, roughly like 15 main deck rares and mythics if you're playing on Magic Arena. The mythics are the Embercleaves. You really need them. They're like one of the reasons to play the deck, but all around a very cheap deck that I think is actually pretty competitive. So a quick reminder before we break down the deck. If you enjoy Budget Magic and the other series here on the channel, it would be spectacular of you if you take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk AnaxCleave Red, starting with Anax Hardened in the Forge. This is the card that makes mono red aggro on a budget possible in Theros Beyond Death Standard. And this card is just absolutely busted. So 3 mana, you get a star 3. Its power is equal to your devotion to red. So this is often 4 power, 5 power, sometimes in the late game even bigger than that, 7 power, 9 power. And then whenever it or a non-token creature you control dies, you get a 1/1 Satyr token. So it gives us protection from removal and rest. And if the creature has power 4 or greater, you get 2 of those tokens. Sure, the tokens can't block, but we're not really a blocking deck. We are an attack your face, smash you for tons of damage, kill you quickly style of deck. So Anax, especially in conjunction with the other key card in our deck, Embercleave, is what makes mono red work in Theros Beyond Death Standard. Anax is this creature that is cheap, it's only 3 mana, but it also usually has very high power. So if we can play a bunch of cheap red creatures, get in a big attack, including an Anax, we can throw an Embercleave on our Anax and potentially just one-shot our opponent. We can hit our opponent for over 20 damage with a single Anax attack. And that's what our deck really wants to do. Plus, as I was talking about, Anax gives us a lot of support for fighting through sweepers, fighting through removal by making those tokens, so it adds this resiliency to our deck as well. But the most explosive thing our deck can do is play some random red creatures, Anax, Embercleave Anax, just smash you with one big lethal attack with Anax. Otherwise, we get a bunch of cheap red creatures, Grim Initiate, pretty cute with Anax. When it dies, you get to amass 1, so you get a 1/1. If you got Anax, you get 2 1/1s, so you get a 1/1 with First Strike that eventually makes 2 1/1 when it dies. That's a pretty good deal for a single mana. Fervent Champion can equip Embercleave for free once it's on the battlefield. Scorch Bitter, just kind of a backup, but it technically attacks for 2 if our opponent doesn't have a blocker because of the ping. Then we have Runaway Steamkin, which is our backup Anax in some ways. Runaway Steamkin is our other creature that can actually get pretty big. If we can cast some red spells, it gets up to a 4/4. Then we can throw Embercleave on it. That means Runaway Steamkin can hit for 10. Plus, Runaway Steamkin's mana production allows for some really explosive Anax plays, where we're able to like play some creatures, trigger Runaway Steamkin, get it up to 4 power, attack, then use the Steamkin mana to play our Embercleave by surprise when it looks like we're tapped out, put it on Anax or on Steamkin, whatever, our big creature, hit our opponent, win the game on the spot. Phoenix of Ash gives us some evasion and another resilient threat, and that's one of the challenges of playing mono red in our current meta is Esper controls the thing, mono white controls the thing. There's a lot of decks with a lot of removal, so being able to have recursive threats that keep coming back, kind of like Anax makes those tokens, is really key to being able to beat some of the control decks. Phoenix of Ash can escape back from the graveyard for just 4 mana, so we play it, we get in some hasty attacks. If our opponent doesn't have a blocker, we can pump it and get in a ton of damage, even throw an Embercleave on it, and then eventually it comes back from the graveyard in even bigger and better form. Otherwise, we get some pump spells. Rime Rock Knight, it's a pump spell, also a 3/1 for 2. It can't block, but whatever. Again, we're not a blocking deck. And then Infuriate is just +3/+2 for a single mana. Kind of the red giant growth, very close to the red giant growth, and it looks like a weird card, but when you consider that our deck wants to get in damage any way possible, it's actually very powerful, and when we can use this on a creature that has Embercleave, these cards become extremely frightening. Being able to pump a Embercleave creature, because it already has trample, it already has double strike, can get in tons of damage and allow us to win the game by surprise. So these cards are very key to the Embercleave plan. As far as spells, we get some shocks for early game removal that can go face, and then light up the stage to keep drawing through our deck, finding our important pieces. Mana base, we get 4 Castle Empress, 17 Mountains. If you're looking to make the deck even cheaper on Magic Arena, you can play without the Castle Empress. They're in the deck because they're basically a free roll, but after playing a bunch of games with this deck, the number of times you actually activate Castle Empress is fairly low. Like, it's nice when it happens because it should always come into play untapped almost every match. There's no reason not to play them from a spiky perspective, but if you're trying to keep your budget as cheap as possible, I don't think your deck loses that much by just playing Mountains over Castle Empress. Sideboard wise, we get some removal customization. Lava Coil Slangfire can deal with bigger things. Lava Coil Exiles, Slangfire can also go face. Experimental Frenzy is for control matchups, another way to fight through Sweeper's removal. Claim the Firstborn or Crowan War are really good against big creature decks. People playing Uros and Kroxas and things like that, the Green Ram style decks, because we can yoink a big creature, get in attacks with them, and then a Crowan War is even better. Eventually sweeps our opponent boards, get blockers out of the way with the second lore counter. Unchained Berserker is for White Weenie, especially. Protection from white means we can keep attacking through a board full of random white creatures, and it blocks decently against white decks. Emperor's Shieldbreaker. Sometimes you gotta blow up a witch's oven, and it's another card that like double triggers our runaway steam king because we cast it once, cast it as a creature, and that is AnaxCleave red for standard, and that's our budget magic deck for this week. So we are going aggro, smashing face, attacking, throwing pump spells all over the place, and seeing if mono red can compete in Theros Beyond Death standard on a budget. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll be back in a bit with the wrap-up. Alright, budget magic time. We are getting aggro this week, playing what a lot of people might think of as the best budget deck in Standard, which is, of course, AnaxCleave red. Basically, mono red with a bit of a twist. This hand is improving. It is improving. The Embercleave is what we want to see. That offers a lot of damage, potentially. 4 lands is about the maximum we want to keep in our opener. Opponent, untap land, and Thought Erasure. Well, there goes our Embercleave, I assume. Interesting. Oh, play the land, play Fervent Champion. Rhyme-Rock Knight something. Go attacking. Opponent down to 14. Well, we attack, and we attack some more. And we keep attacking, and we hope for the best. Opponent is helping us out. They've spent 4 life on Shocklands. Teferi, Time Raveler, sure. Bounces Grim Initiate. Ooh, light up the stage. Well, play the land. Attack our opponent. Light up the stage. Scorch Spitter. Grim Initiate. Pass the turn. Opponent, take it up to Teferi.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
So we can Embercleave, although it would be much better post-Anax if we can wait. Opponent. Alright, there goes our Embercleave. Leaves it on top. Well, play Anax. Play a land. I guess we better kill Teferi and hit our opponent.
Time for plan B, as soon as I think of one.
So Teferi down. This does mean if our opponent Wraths, we're going to get a bunch of 1/1s. That is the power of Anax. If our opponent Wraths, we get a million 1/1s, which hopefully allows us to kill our opponent post-Wrath. Oh, Anax is so good. It's so good in decks like this. It is a reason I think that mono red on a budget can compete with the top decks in the format. Opponent, untap land. Elspeth conquers death. Snags Anax. Well, we will play a land, play Anax Part 2. Play the Knight. Everything in our opponent. Alright, opponent. You need something really good. It's gotta be like Dream Trawler, I think. Untap land, Dream Trawler, maybe. All right, opponent time wipes, that's fine. That is fine, because here comes infinite 1/1s, and our opponent is dead, and that's what Anax can do. Yeah, nice sweeper. To the top, that's fine. Opponent scoops it up. Whew, that is a perfect example of what Anax does. Absolutely perfect. If we did not have Anax, we'd probably lose that game. But because of Anax, we win. As simple as that. All right, opponent's playing Control, and we will bring in Frenzies, and I guess Slang Fire over the Shocks. And keep it like that. A little bit more card advantage, a little bit more resilience. Kill him quick, kill him fast, get in there with Anaxes. That is our plan. Well, it worked in game 1, even through our opponent having Teferi, Elspeth Conquers Death on first Anax, and Sweeper. Alright, sure. We'll keep this. Opponent's doing some mulliganing, which is probably not surprising. Our opponent knows they need a hand that can defend themselves quickly to keep up with our deck, and opponent ends up with 5 cards. Island. Well, we will start with Fervent Champion. Start getting in that damage. Down to 19. Opponent. Island. Well, land Steamkin. Go attacking. Scryland. So we either gotta meter out our light up the stage is nice. We either gotta meter out our threats. Yeah, let's Rime Rock Knight. Grim Initiate. Scorch Spitter. Go to combat, attack, hit our opponent to 11, remove our counters, light up the stage, Rime Rock Knight, pass the turn. All right, opponent. I think we might have got him. I mean, this looks 3, 6, 7, 8. This looks pretty lethal to me. With a Frenzy left over. Opponent, Tyrant Scorn. Okay. Well, we will Phoenix of Ash. This does keep our opponent... Never mind. Technically, it would have kept our opponent alive, but, well, okay. That was good. That was fast. That's what this deck can do. All right. Sweet. Budget magic time. We are going spiky this week. Killing people with Anax and Embercleave. Okay, we gotta light up the stage. This sounds fine. This isn't like a insane hand or anything, but we have 1-drop into light up the stage, 1-drop into Phoenix of Ash, or whatever we light up the stage into. All right, Temple of Mystery. Opponent scries to the top. Well, land and Scorch Spitter. Ship the turd. Blast Zone and Leaf Kindred. All right, so opponent's playing Ramp. More lands. More lands is not the best. Go to combat, attack. Hit our opponent. Well, let's light up the stage. Land and yeah, let's actually shock Leafkin. Keeping our opponent off mana seems worthwhile here if we can, especially with our opponent mulliganing. Scryland to the top. Opponent passes. Well, Castle Embreth. Go to combat. Attack. Rime Rock Knight. Hit our opponent. 15. Rime Rock Knight. Alright. What do you got, opponent? That Blast Zone could kill our 1-drops, potentially. Which right now is just Scorch Spitter. Alright, Fabled Passage. Cracks it. Can we force through the rest of this damage? Opponent gets an island. Uro. Alright. Yeah, alright. That's some life gain, which is less than ideal. Opponent goes back up to 18. Another Fabled Passage. So Uro's not that far away from returning. Opponent Embercleave. I'll apply the land, go to combat, attack. Ping. I mean, since we drew Embercleave, I think we gotta cleave it. Cleave. Rime Rock. Hit ya. That was a good draw. Opponent's down to 8, and that might allow us to race this Uro, especially with this Infuriate in hand. Infuriate represents oodles and oodles of damage with the help of this Embercleave. Opponent, what do you got? What do you got? Land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can blow up our Scorch Spitter, but that's not the end of the world, honestly. Tapping, tapping, tapping. Nissa. I think that's okay. I think there's a decent chance we just win through Nissa here. Untaps a land, bone it. Gets it. Hits us to 17. Is there a follow-up? Hopefully not. Opponent passes. Well, play Castle Embereth. Phoenix of Ash. Everything at our opponent. Opponent goes to 7 and scoops it up. Whoo! Racing a Nissa. Racing a Nissa? Maybe we could just outpace Nissa. I mean, that was through an Uro. Our opponent got to gain life off of an Uro, and we were still able to overcome Uro into Nissa. All right, all right, all right. Well, with what our opponent's doing, I think maybe we want... Oh, this is tricky. Tricky. A Crowan War seems interesting. I think we want, like, a Crowan War. The question is, do we want Claim the Firstborn? It's sweet against Uro in specific. But mostly, I think we gotta remain aggressive. I think that's our main pathway to victory is just by aggroing our opponent. Do we want Claim the Firstborn? Lava Coil. We can trim a couple shocks, I think. Maybe we just run it like that. Bring in the Crowan Wars. Stay the course. Try to kill our opponent before they can go over the top and get their crosses and so forth going. Ooh, alright, we'll keep this. We need another land for Anax, but we have a lot of cheap things to play. Opponent to the bottom. Well, there's a land, so we will Scorch Spitter. Now we mostly want an Embercleave, really. Opponent, tap land, passes. Well, Castle Embereth, go to combat, attack you. Ping our opponent 19, hit our opponent 18. Grim Initiate. Pass the turn. Castle, opponent, passing. Well, play the mountain, go to combat, attack. Opponent goes to 16, goes to 15. And yeah, play Anax. Are we getting gusted? Ooh, Growth Spiral, alright. That's not a gust. Ooh, Ghost Spiral and Gust? Alright, we'll keep it on top. Opponent's down to 13, though. Risen Reef. Sure. Draws a card. Fabled Passage. Well, play Anax. Oh, is this another Gust? Ooh, double Gust is not ideal. Island. Okay, resolves. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent down to 12. Blocks, sure. I mean, we get a 1-1 out of the deal, so this is fine. Oh, Anax is so good. Ether Gust. Huh. Alright. Yep. Well, sure. So we don't get a 1-1. I don't think we can spend our Infuriate. I think we are going to need the damage from that. Double Ether Gust is very good for our opponent. Hell, we'll see. At least we know we're getting Anax. Alright, there is Nissa. Ugh. This one might be slipping away. Opponent untaps a lad.
Behold, nature true power.
Combat. Gets it. Yeah. Down to 17. Tap land. Well, we'll see. If it's just Nissa, we have hope. But if there's... Oh, to the top. All right. Well, we will play a mountain. We will play Phoenix of Ash. We will attack our opponent. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, attack our opponent. Down to 9. Well, we'll see. No crosses, please. Anything but crosses. Opponent, infinite mana, because they have a Nissa. Untaps.
The land shall conquer you.
Taps. Taps. Ugh, something big. Taps. Yeah, this looks like a big old crosses, I think. Maybe we do bring in Claim the Firstborn just to steal crosses and try to get in a lethal attack. Yeah, alright, there's the huge crosses. So I think we have to draw... Alright. Land. Opponent's got a full hand. Passes. Mountain. Alright. Yep. Let's go to sideboarding. Double Ether Gust was enough to let our opponent stabilize. There's just not really a way we can close out the game from this position. So I think we are going to bring in Claim the Firstborn over the shocks. just because of Crosses. That is a way we can beat a Crosses. All right, run it like that. If our opponent plays a big Crosses and we can yoink it and hit back with it in our board, that's how we can win through a Crosses. Good news is we're going to be on the play. And, all right, we'll keep it. Only a couple lands, but this hand's fine. And we do have a Steamkin, which could be very good. One thing about the Simic deck is it doesn't actually have that much interaction. Bonnet, Temple of Mystery. I mean, we saw the Ether Gus, and the Ether Gus are interaction, and they are good, but get it with Fervent Champion, hit our opponent down to 18. Land for our opponent. Leafkin Druid. Well, play the land, play Grim Initiate. Go to combat, attack. Alright, we will Infuriate Fervent Champion. Gross, hit our opponent. Kill it. Okay. Opponent's probably going to need a Ether Gust here because we have this Embercleave. So if our opponent taps out, Embercleave is insane. Land. Come on, play that Risen Reef. Opponent passes. Well, we will play a Runaway Steamkin. Alright. Go attacking. Opponent down to 12. They did have the Ether Gust. That is a card that keeps our opponent in the game. Blast Zone can get our 1-drops. Leafkin Druid. Leafkin Druid. I'll go to combat. Attack. Oh, those Ether Gusts. Ether Gusts very good against our deck. Opponent blocks. And blocks. Well, we will. Embercleave. Grow Steamkin. Put it on Steamkin. Hit our opponent. Kill a Leafkin. And see what happens. Opponent untaps. 5 mana at the moment. Alright, Scry land to the top. And opponent's really thinking on this. Hopefully they don't have Gust number 2. Uro. Alright. Uro is good, but it also sacrifices itself. Untap land. Opponent must have like another Uro? Risen Reef. Okay. Triggers. Gets a land. Ooh, alright. Oh, play the land. Oh, this is lethal, isn't it? A Crowan War. Take Risen Reef. And that looks lethal to me. Swing in. Whoo! Alright. Embercleave getting the job done. Taking down the ramp deck through the life gain. Alright. We keep winning. That's the good news. Yeah, alright. Sweet, sweet. Budget magic time. We are Cleavin' Fools. Playing some, AnaxCleave. And, yeah, alright. This isn't like a thrilling hand, but it's fine. I guess we just Grim Initiate since it kind of locks down those Gutter Bones. We don't have any of our best cards, but we have a solid curve. I will say that... Alright, another Gutter Bones. And a Witch's Oven. I will say that Mayhem Devil has potential to be very problematic for our deck. Play a land. Well, I guess we play Scorch Spitter. I guess we got to get in damage. Little awkward because this lets our opponent tag us back, but I don't think we can win against a Witch's Oven by trying to go long. We got to try to kill our opponent quickly because this Witch's Oven and likely cats are going to start getting life and making things tricky. Gonna probably need to find like Anax Embercleave, I think. Opponent gets it. We actually have a lot of pump spells, so even just an Embercleave can deal a lot of damage. Opponent hits us. Untap lands. Midnight Reaper. Do we want to kill that? I think we do. And let's kill Midnight Reaper. Opponent can sack it. Gets a food. Yeah, light up the stage is not bad. Go to combat. Attack, attack. Hit our opponent. Down to 13. Light up the stage. Let's just cast a Rime Rock Knight. Alright. No Mayhem Devils. Opponent. Tap land. Scries. Mayhem Devil is really bad. Witch's Oven. Okay. Now it's not a Mayhem Devil. Opponent passes. Ooh, Steamkin. Well, play the land. Play the Steamkin. Play Fervent Champion. Go to combat, swing with everything. We are on the close this game out however we can stage of the game. Opponent goes to 12. Blocks and blocks. Sure. I don't think we can waste pump spells saving creatures here. Stuff dies. Pass the turn. Opponent's at 10. Can go up to 13 with the food sackage. They might have a hard time getting these gutter bones back, though. Opponent does not have much going on at the moment. And they come into play tap, so they don't play great D. All right, there's a Mayhem Devil. Claim the first... Oh, really? That is unfortunate. Yeah, sure. So that probably means we're going to die here. Opponent gets in, hits us. Yeah, gets to sack our Steamkin. Ugh. Yup. We gotta save it. Although I'm not sure that we actually can get out from under this now. Untap. Well, go to combat. Attack. Opponent. Blocks. Well, we will... Yeah, Rime Rock Knight. Opponent can sack it, though. And that also fizzles our Rime Rock Knight. Yeah, opponent sacks. Kills Fervent Champion. We lose our Rime Rock Knight. Takes 1. Yeah, what do you got, opponent? Yeah, Mayhem Devil's insane against us. Hopefully our opponent does not have... Oh, it's a Rankle. Alright, so our opponent does have not just something, but something insanely good. Yeah, this is probably a very bad matchup for our deck. Go to combat, attack. And yeah, this one is... Sure. Yeah, this one's actually over. We will concede. There's no way we can get through the food and the Witch's Oven and the Gutter Boats. Opponent can just gain like 6 life a turn. So there's just no... And there's Rankle. There's just no getting out of that. Yeah, so Mayhem Devil, really strong against our deck, especially if we don't have Anax. Anax is a solid answer. I feel like we were in good shape until that Claim the Firstborn. That Claim the Firstborn really ruined our day. We're going to trim some shocks, go up things that allow us to interact with Mayhem Devil, and I guess just run it like that. Yeah, Witch's Oven Mayhem Devil is just like a... I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a Wrath that also gains our opponent ridiculous amounts of life. All right. The unfortunate part of this hand is we don't have anything we can do early in the game to, like, turn on this light up the stage. We start playing things on turn 3, which is fine. Well, all right. Land, Steamkin. Opponent, Mountain. Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Play the land. I think we just Lava Coil Priest. Go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent. Light up the stage. Pass the turn. Swamp for our opponent. Woe Strider. Sure. Well, we will Lava Coil Woe Strider. Play Grim Initiate. Why did that not grow our Steamkin? Huh? Shouldn't our Steamkin have gotten a counter there? Did I miss something? We cast a Grim Initiate, which is a red spell. Well, that could actually be very bad for us because we're going to be able to remove the counters and play Anax. Huh. All right, there's a Mayhem Devil. Opponent gets to crack, kill our Grim Initiate. Yeah, we might actually like lose the game because we didn't. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the video because I swear we were supposed to get a counter on that Steamkin. All right, opponent passing. Well, play the Mountain, play Anax. Go to combat, attack, attack. Opponent blocks, and blocks. All right, opponent blocks. Drops to 11. Well, we will pass the turn. Oh, I'm so stupid. We already have max counters. Oh, man, I'm going to get yelled at in the YouTube comments. Very loudly. Epic Downfall. All right, that's unfortunate. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's definitely not great for us. Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Opponent gets in. We drop to 16. We untap. Okay, so remove the counters. Play Phoenix of Ash. Play Fervent Champion. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent blocks. Alright, so Infuriate. Remove the counters. Infuriate. Castle Embreth. And that looks like a Xaxes. Well, we might not be able to count the number of counters on Runaway Steamkin properly, but boy, was that an explosive turn. Whew, okay. Well, that was all part of the plan. We intentionally pretended like we didn't know how Runaway Steamkin worked. So our opponent would be lulled into a false sense of security, thinking we wouldn't be able to do a play like that and then get him. So we're not just bad at Magic. We that was all part of the plan. That was all part of the plan. We figured it out. I think we're actually going to go down 2 Scorch Spitters for 2 Shocks. Opponent does have a lot of stuff that die to Shock. I run it like that. Well, that's how we can win. That is an example of how we can win. Scorch Spitter seems bad against Cauldron Familiar, primarily. Okay. Well, we got Embercleave. Opponent leads on a tap land. Mountain and Grim Initiate. And Slang Fire technically can kill a Mayhem Devil, which is nice. Tap land. Opponent. Gutter Bones. I like Light Up the Stage. Go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent. Light up the stage. Oh, wait. Alright, light up the stage. Play the Mountain. And... yeah, pass the turn. Opponent. Gutter Bonesing in. Down 18. Mountain. And... Cauldron Familiar. Uh-huh. And Witch's Oven. Alright, well, so this is happening. Opponent passes. Play Runaway Steamkin. Play the Mountain. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent blocks. Yep. And sacks and does cat things. Well, we got a Rime Rock Knight, even though it doesn't do anything. Or else we lose it. Yep. The only good news is there is a potential Embercleave coming. Bad news is if our opponent finds Mayhem Devil, we basically just lose. Opponent, yeah. Down to 16. Got a Devil, Mountain. Okay, claim the Firstborn. Well, that's another way we just lose. Cauldron Familiar part 40. Opponent sacks. How can we get out of this? We'll play Castle Embreth. Grim Initiate. Grim Initiate. Ugh. Yeah, this feels like it's probably, I would say, the worst, it's got to be the worst matchup in the format for our deck. Opponent blocks, sacks, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this has got to be the worst matchup in the meta. Fabled Passage. Cracks Fabled Passage. Gets a Swamp. So our chance of winning is going to involve a big Embercleave, I think, if there's any chance. Well, play the Mountain. Go to combat. Attack. Can we afford to try to play around anything? Or do we just got to go? Yeah, I think we just got to go for it. Tag with everything. If our opponent has instant speed removal to kill our Rime Rock Knight, it's pretty bad. Opponent gets back a cat. Yep. Sure. We go to 9. Opponent blocks. Blocks. Hopefully this last card is not something that kills Rime Rock Knight. We need to get in this Embercleave hit to have any hope. Well, yeah. See what happens. Embercleave. On Rime Rock. What's that last card, opponent? Alright. Rime Rock. Rime Rock. Saxacat. Takes a beating. Down to 10. Rime Rock. Alright, this is it. Oh, so much life gain. We got in the hit, though. So opponent's down to 10. That was a good attack. If our opponent wasn't looping Cauldron Familiars, we'd be in even better shape. All right, opponent, let's see it. Are they going to draw? This Slang Fire might end up being important. It's not a card that is super heavily played. So if we can catch our opponent by surprise with 4 damage, that could be a way to steal the game. Opponent. A Crowin War on our Rime Rock Knight. Okay. That's actually not the end of the world, because we just re-equip Embercleave. Opponent. Oh boy. I feel like a land might win us this game. That's a land, so play the land. Embercleave on Rime Rock Knight. Go to combat. Are we going to steal this win? I think we are. Attack with everything. Oh, Slaying Fire for the steal? The one-up in the sideboard? Put it blocks. It blocks. Sure. They don't have the ability to sack food. Drops to 2. Slaying Fire your face? Huh! For the steal! For the steal against the tough matchup! And maybe this deck is actually just really good. If we're beating Mayhem Devil Cat Oven with our opponent gaining a ton of life and looping cat starting on turn 2, that's a good sign, because that felt like a ridiculously bad matchup. Like, Mayhem Devil just keeps wrapping our board, Cat Oven gains life, food gains life. It felt so bad, and didn't matter. We still got there. Alright. Alright. Sweet. Budget magic time. We are playing some Anax. AnaxCleave Red in Standard, and we'll give this a go. Temple of Mystery for our opponent to the bottom. Well, play the land, pass the turn. Forest for our opponent. Wolf Willow Haven. Alright, so definitely a Nissa deck. Play the land, play Steamkin. Pass the turn. Island for our opponent. Wolf Willow Haven. Play the land, play Anax. Grow the Steamkin. Go attacking. Can we kill our opponent next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We will see. Opponent's got a bunch of mana. Alright, crosses to gain some life. Alright, play Fervent Champion. Go to combat. All attack. See how our opponent blocks. We might be able to just one-shot our opponent here. Going to block Anax. Block Steamkin. Alright, so we will Infuriate Anax. Embercleave. On Anax. Infuriate Anax. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's what the deck can do! That's what the deck can do! That's why you play the deck. Woo! Wow! That is about as fast as you can kill someone in Standard. Good golly. That was pretty impressive, I would say. 3 lands, threw a crosses, and 2 ram spells. Just got him. Well, that is the power of this deck when it's doing its thing. I think we bring in 2 Claim the Firstborns, 2 Crowin Wars, go down the shocks, and just run like that. Try to do that again. I mean, that is about as spectacular can be. Okay. Seems reasonable. 4 is for our opponent. Love Struck Beast. Opponent's putting on the defense. Land, go. Island, and passes. Well, land, and run out Steamkin. Do we have an Ether Gust? Alright, just a Growth Spiral. Better than an Ether Gust, I will say. Opponent. Island. Alright, Questing Beast gets in. No blocks. That's a clock. I'll play the Mountain. Play Phoenix of Ash. Grow the Steamkin. Hit our opponent. Ugh. Yeah, this might be tricky. Opponent. Land. Uro. Gonna gain some life. Draw a card. Opponent gets in. Hits us. Down to 11. Cannot claim the Firstborn of Questing Beast. Opponent passes. Gonna put Steamkin on top. Ugh. Oh, Phoenix on top. Huh. I guess we gotta go bottom, awkwardly. Play the Mountain. How can we do that? So if we, let's see, if we steal the human, Rime Rock Knight, then we can Embercleave. All right, so claim the Firstborn, the human. Rime Rock Knight, Steamkin. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent. Going to block Steamkin. So we remove the counters Embercleave. Steamkin. Alright. Get rid of that questing beast. Take you to 14. Okay. What do you got about it? Ooh, Thrashing Brontodon. Although the good news is we do have another Embercleave. Play Castle Embereth. Play Rhyme Rock Knight. Play Grim Initiate. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent blocks. Alright, opponent blocks. Sacks. Yeah. Well, let's Embercleave again. Back on the Steamkin. Hit ya. Hit ya. Cavalier of Thorns. Can we close out the game, though, is the question. Potent. This Uro's coming back. Ugh, opponent might have stabilized. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent blocks. Blocks. Kill the Cavalier. I think our opponent might have just been able to stabilize. Going to get back. Thrashing Brontodon. Play a Steamkin. Equip. But now we're out of action, and there's Uro to gain life, and a questing beast. Another Uro. Gain some life triggers. Tap land. Yeah. And Lovestruck Beast on D. Castle Embereth. Yeah, alright. Opponent managed to stabilize. We were close, but the power of Uro just enough to keep our opponent ahead in that one. Good news is we get to be on the play for game number 3, which is nice. Yeah, run it back. I don't think we change anything. We get to be on the play, go aggro, hope for the best. All right. We play first. And, well, we'll keep this. Land and Fervent Champion. This hand seems reasonable. Get in, hit ya. 19. Opponent, Forest. Land Steamkin. Go attacking. Land for our opponent. Passes. Well, play the land. Scorch Spitter. Go attacking. There's the Ether Gust. Opponent takes 1. We light up the stage. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Uro. More lands. Up to 20. Well, play the land. Play Steamkin. Go to combat. Attack. Trigger. Pass the turn. See what our opponent has. This Akroan War could be very helpful. We'll see what our opponent has. Tap land. Scries. To the bottom. Questing Beast. That is a good Akroan War target. Opponent gets it, hits us. Sure. But. We will do a little yoinking. Come to our side of the battlefield, Questy. Hit you with everything. Give some triggers. Opponent. Down to 8. Opponent's got to be able to blow up this Akroan War, I think, to get back Questing Beast. Blast Zone. And, oh, what do you got, opponent? It better be good. Or the sideboard tech. Getting the job done. Passes. I'll play Fervent Champion. Go to combat. Oh, opponent's super dead. Opponent scries with cancel Vantress. No hope, no chance, and that's what we can do through the Questing Beast. All right, sweet. Man, those were some explosive games. Seems decent for a budget deck for sure. All right, budget magic time. We are getting aggressive with Anax and Embercleave in standard. And, all right, see what our opponent's up to. Fabled Passage, cracks it. So, probably, all right, we'll see. Well, land and Fervent Champion. We do have the classic double Fervent Champion draw, which is a good draw. Had our opponent down to 19. Two Fervent Champions being able to pump each other, pretty helpful. Ooh, Gruul A. Opponent passes. Well, Mountain Fervent Champion. Yup. So, Fervent Champion, part 1, gets crushed. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. And, yeah, let's just light up the stage. Start drawing some cards. Ooh, alright, 1-drops for days. We're fine with the 1-drops for days plans. Fervent Champion, part 3. Ooh, opponent shocks themselves. Plays a Bone Crusher Giant. Sure. Well, play Fervent Champion. Play a Mountain. Go to combat. Attack. Trigger, trigger. Pump each other. Opponent. Wow, gonna take it? Alright, down to 12. That's fine. We will play Grim Initiate. And Grim Initiate. Pass the turn. And I think we're in pretty good shape now. Alright, Bone Crusher, Fervent Champion. Yeah. I mean, opponent's fighting a good fight, but we have this Anax about to come. Wow! Okay, sure. Yeah, you do that, opponent. Get in there. Opponent going to take 2 to target their Bone Crush. I do not think our opponent's going to win this race the way they're hoping. How do we want to do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, let's just play Anax. That's fine. I don't think we have to win this turn. Play Anax, hit our opponent. Our opponent can't cleave us this turn, so I think we're fine. Oh, Anax is so good. What do you got, opponent? Bone Crusher. Sure. Opponent passes. Well, we will go to combat. I think we just win here. Attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So all we gotta do is throw our stuff at an unblocked creature. Like, for example, boom, Grim Initiate. Double boom, Grim Initiate. Triple boom, shock your face. And opponent is dead and a half, I think. Yeah. Opponent wanted to be aggro, but was not aggro enough. And that was with us on the draw. And we still just raced Gruul severe. Like, that was not even a little bit close to being good for our opponent. Well, all right, opponent's playing Gruul aggro. So I think this means a Crow and Moors in, claim the Firstborn in, shocks out. And we're just going to stay as aggressive as possible. Do we want... Maybe we can go down... Let's go down the 2 Scorch Spitters for Lava Coil. As I say, as aggressive as possible, but bring in a little bit of removal that can hit stuff like Questing Beast. Otherwise, what we really want to do is get a clock going and then just yoink our opponent's creatures and beat them beat them with their own creatures. The most painful way to lose a game of Magic, to play sweet things and then have your opponent kill you with them. Alright, Yoshi. Let's do it. So opponent is on the play again, although that didn't matter in game number 1. And this hand, alright, sure. We gotta light up the stage, we got some 1-drops. And a Crow and War as our sweet sideboard card should be pretty good. Opponent, Little Mulligan, Forest, and, ooh, Edgewall Keeper. Well, we'll see. We might regret taking out those shocks. For some reason, I was thinking our opponent was just like Gruul aggro, but if they're Gruul adventures, we definitely want shocks to kill Innkeepers, I think. But opponent passes. And go to combat. Attack. Opponent takes it. Light up the stage. Mountain. Grim Initiate. Pass the turn. Fabled Passage. Killing our Grim Initiates doesn't do a whole lot, sure. Grows an Innkeeper, we get a 1/1. We do need to find a land. Whoa, alright. Opponent is very committed to being the aggro. No matter how much we beat them down, they're just like, we're going to be the aggro in this matchup. I mean, I respect that. If you're going to play an aggro deck, just, I guess, go for it. Down to 18. Steam Kid. Well, we will go to combat, attack you. Light up the stage. Looking for lands, please. That's not a land. That's not even close to a land. Okay, so... No. Fervent Champion? That's awkward. These light up the stages are doing nothing because we don't have the lands to cast the cards we're hitting with them. Bone it. Thrashy McGee. Sure. Gets in. No blocks. Not a land. Well, go to combat. Attack. Opponent blocks. Well, infuriate. And then, jeez, all right. Yeah, I guess we just do this. Opponent goes to 14. Pass the turn. Ugh, those are maybe the 2 worst light up the stages we've had. Do we cast 1 card off of them and did not hit a single land? Awkward. All right, opponent. Love Struck Beast. Sure. Draws a card. Plays a mountain. Wow. Wow, our opponent is committed to being aggro. Sure. No blocks. Ooh, there's a land. Well, play the mountain. Yoink the Love Struck Beast. Go to combat. Attack. 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. I guess that was slightly punt-worthy. We should have played Steamkin first. For some reason, I was thinking we were going to kill our opponent there, but we were not. That's why you should do the math before you attack, rather than after. Alright about it. Yeah, we would have had an extra counter on our Steamkin had we done it that way. Which actually would be kind of relevant because... Alright, Bone Crushes Steamkin. It would be kind of relevant because of... No, I guess it wouldn't be relevant. Never mind. No harm, no foul. Opponent makes it 1-1. How aggro are we, opponent? Gets in. Sure. Alright, not gets in. We would like to draw a land for this. A Crowan War would be very strong. Well, play Steamkin. And I guess we just gotta pass. Awkward. Our deck doesn't want a lot of lands, but hitting 1 more would be pretty helpful here. Love Strike Beast, draws a card. Yeah. Sure. Boy, this Crowan War would be so insane. I think if our opponent attacks, we triple block in Rime Rock Knight. Actually, that's not a very good plan, is it? I guess we just block with Grim in it. We'll see what our opponent does. What we need to get to is this Crowan War. Innkeeper, Part 2. Opponent. Tap land. Passes. Well, play the land. Play a Crowan War. Steal Lovestruck Beast. No attacks. Alright, so now our opponent's got to deal with this Crowan War, or it is going to beat our opponent. Opponent plays a land. They do get to keep drawing cards because of these Innkeepers. Ugh, this is close. This is super close. Opponent. This will beat our opponent if we get it to go off. Embercleave would also be a pretty absurd draw here. Opponent. Skargan Halakite. Okay, that's decent. It's a 5/5. Puts counter on it. We draw a mountain. Well, go to combat. Attack our opponent. Opponent blocks. Sure. Well, this last lore counter should beat our opponent. Opponent, yeah, blocks. We will play Rime Rock Knight. Play the mountain, pass the turn. So opponents gotta attack with their team. Can they find a way to stop the Crowan War from just wrathing them and letting us win on the backswing? That is the question. Skargan Hellkite is 4 mana to shoot our stuff, so it can like deal with some of our defense, but it doesn't let our opponent win, and then they still are going to lose their entire team. Yeah, opponent's reading a Crowan War, realizing that this is very bad news for them. Our opponent happens to have a lot of creatures with equal power and toughness, so it's just like the hard wrath here, basically. Opponent. Gotta attack. Like it or not. Opponent gets in. Well, we will block. Actually, no. Let's do this differently. Block here. I guess if our opponent has Embercleave as one of the 2 cards in hand, that could get us good. All right. Okay, we dodged the cleave, I think. All right, we dropped to 9. Grim Initiate dies. Yeah. All right, opponent. Let's see it. We know there's a Bone Crusher. Opponent might just try to Skargan Hellkite and kill some of our stuff. Lava Coils, Fervent Champion, sure. Innkeeper, okay. Bone Crusher draws a card. Yeah, Well, alright. Stuff dies. We draw a mountain. Opponent gets back the Lovestruck Beast, which is unfortunate. We are a couple points of damage short. We might actually be losing this. That's not great. Alright, mountain. Our draw was very, very awkward. We didn't hit the lands early when they would have been great, and now we're hitting all the lands now that we wasted multiple light up the stages, not being able to cast cards. Questing Beast off the top. And this is bad news. Opponent attacks. Alright, jeez. Sure. Down to 5. I think we just gotta draw Embercleave. Anax. Well, play Anax, grow the Steamkin. Pass the turn. I believe this puts us to dead, though, since Rime Rock can't block. See if our opponent goes for it. I think I definitely messed up this game to some extent. Although our land troubles didn't help. Opponent. Alright, opponent attacks with everything. And that does mean we're dead, if that's what our opponent does. Alright, sure. Yeah, I think we might have played that slightly wrong there. Alright, let's not go claim the Firstborns. Leave in a couple shocks. And maybe go down a Phoenix of Ash for a shock. Since this is actually Gruul Adventures, I think we need to be able to kill Innkeeper. That's what kept our opponent in that game, was being able to draw, like, I don't even know, probably a new hand of cards over the course of that game with Innkeeper. So I think we need to be able to answer that on turn 1. Plus, worst case, I mean, Shock would have been fine that game, just going in our opponent's face. A little bit crazy that we had a Crowan War and it was not enough. You know, yeah, okay. No removal, but we got a good curve. Land. Fervent Champion. Get in for one. Vote it. Forest. Lovestruck Beast. Now, play them out and play Steamkin. Attack. Hit our opponent. Down to 18. Mountain for our opponent. Can they kill the Steamkin? Looks like yes. Alright, there's a Bone Crusher. Opponent gets in, hits us. More mountains. Well, Phoenix of Ash. Go attacking. Opponent. Down to 15. Well, it might be up to this Phoenix of Ash to win us this game. About it. Opponent's going to have good ground defense. Temple. To the bottom. Lava Coil. That's not good. Alright, this is looking grim. As grim as our Initiate. We'll play Grim Initiate. Play the Mountain. Rime Rock Knight. Fervent Champion. Play Rime Rock Knight. Hit our opponent down to 12. So now we're back on the Crowan War plan. We will see. We're hoping for a Questing Beast. Questing Beast would be our best thing to steal with this Crowan War. Opponent. Lovestruck Beast. Well, a Crowan War. Take Lovestruck Beast. Go attacking. Opponent goes to 10. Temple. To the top. Boat it. Thinking. Bone Crusher Giant. Well, play Grim Initiate. Play Anax. Attack with Lovestruck Beast. Wow, opponent's gonna block. Alright. Yeah. Well, pass the turn. Questing Beast. Domri's Ambush kills Anax. Alright. Alright. I'll play another Anax. Pass the turn. Where's our Embercleaves? Bone it. Thinking. Alright. Kills Fervent Champion. We get a 1-1. Opponent attacks. No blocks. Down to 8. Bone Crusher Giant. Well, play Steamkin. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Skargan Hellkite. Going hasty. Yeah, looks like we're gonna have to draw an Embercleave. Opponent. Thinking hard. Good lord. Our opponent is the slowest aggro player in the history of Magic Arena. We've used less than 3 minutes. Opponent's going on over 11 minutes. So they're playing 1/4 of the speed we are. Opponent. Attacks with Skargan Hellkite. Thinks for a while. Plays a Rhyme Rock now. What do we draw? Light up the stage. Anax Lava Coil. Yeah, dead. So what do we learn this week about AnaxCleave Red in Standard? And overall, we went 4-1 in our video matches. I actually played quite a few games with this deck. Mono Red is weird for me because it's a deck that I don't feel like I should like, but then when I play it, I kind of like it, and it's actually enjoyable just to kill people quickly. So I did play a bunch of matches just randomly on the ladder before and after recording and in testing, and I feel like the deck is definitely competitive in Standard and has a chance to be pretty legitimate. I think Anax is a huge deal. Anax is the card that makes this deck possible, and you can see in some of our games, when we have Anax and things go well, the deck is ridiculously explosive. We can kill people like on turn 4-ish with our best draws, with Embercleave and Anax, and that's the upside of this deck, is if our opponent especially is playing something that's not very interactive, like a random ramp deck, we can just run roughshod over our opponent's deck and kill them before they get their powerful late game online. On the other hand, removal can be good against our deck, especially if we don't draw Anax, then we can be susceptible to sweepers. And one of the things I learned in my just random non-video matches, just grinding with the deck, is it really depends on the build of interactive decks. I played against an Esper deck that had like Cry of the Critérium and Oath of Kaya, and then Dream Trawler as a finisher, and that just felt like a ridiculously poor matchup. So I think a lot of it depends on the specific builds that you run into with these decks, but the upside of the deck is it's really fast. It can really punish decks that don't have ways to interact, like all the random rampy style decks. We're just fast enough to kill our opponent before they can do their crazy Nissa stuff a lot of the time. We have a good sideboard plan for dealing with big creatures, for dealing with most of the stuff in the metagame. And if you just like to smash face and kill people quickly, I feel like this is a pretty decent option for a Standard. And it's super sweet to have a mono red deck that's actually budget friendly and competitive again. And if you want to go ultra budget with this deck, I think you can get there pretty easily. Like looking at this build, we already talked about in the deck tech, you can cut the Castle Empress. That's going to drop your rare count down more. The only really uncuttable cards, I think, are Fervent Champion, Runaway Steamkin, and then the Embercleaves. You gotta keep those as rares. You can sneak out the Phoenix of Ash, even though the Phoenix of Ash is good. So you could definitely play a version of this deck on Magic Arena that's maybe in the like 10 rare and mythic range in the main deck, and still have success with it. So you can build it really cheaply while you're waiting to get more wild cards to play the fully optimal build or whatever. And the other thing that's great about this is I think this deck is basically optimal in its current form because there's just not a lot of expensive cards you need for the archetype. You need the Embercleaves. That is a cost, especially in paper. That is an expensive card. Even on Arena, it's a mythic, so it's an expensive card. But really, it's not like this is a deck where we're playing a watered-down budget version of it and playing like enters the battlefield, tap dual lands because we can't afford shock lands. Because it's mono red, it's cheap in its optimal form. You don't got to put a bunch of money into upgrading to have a deck that you can play at like a GP or whatever. So all around, I think AnaxCleave Red is pretty sweet. It is definitely a powerful deck, and for its price, it's got to be one of the better options that you can play in the Standard format. If you're looking for a budget deck that you can take to a GP, I think this is a really decent option that you can have success with, especially if you practice a lot. That's the other thing I learned about this deck and playing it is because of all the pump spells and the way the games play out with this deck, it's actually harder than a lot of red decks that I've played in the past. A lot of red decks, they're a little bit brainless, in my opinion. You just kind of like slam your creatures, throw your burn spells, hope for the best. But the way this deck plays with figuring out like, do I spend a pump spell to save a creature, or do I have to save that pump spell to force through damage, or save it even longer until I draw Embercleave so I can one-shot someone. There's a lot of these weird decision points in the deck that you don't have in a lot of other mono red decks. So if you do decide to make this your budget standard deck or competitive budget standard deck, make sure to gain a lot of reps with it, because I think you are rewarded for playing tightly and learning how to play around what's in the format, learning how to sequence your pump spells, when to hold them, when to save a creature with them. All that stuff really matters, because the other thing we learned in a lot of our matches is this isn't often a deck that just blows your opponent out. Yes, some relatively small percentage of the time we get an absurd nut draw where it's like Runaway's team can make it big, Anax, Embercleave it, hit you for 20, game over on turn 4. That does happen sometimes, and those games are easy. Anyone can win those games. But outside of those just jank out with Embercleave games, this deck runs on really tight margins, and misplaying one pump spell, or not playing one creature to pump your Anax, or playing one creature to pump your Anax and then having your opponent have a sweeper, that can be the difference between winning and losing an entire match. So if you do pick it up, don't make the mistake of thinking, oh, this is just some brainless mono red deck, easy to play. Get in the reps with it, practice it, because it will reward you for learning how to play it and playing it tightly, because it is way more complicated, I believe, than a lot of the red decks I've played in the past. So anyway, that's AnaxCleave Red. That is our budget magic for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.